Oh, is the record button on? Oh, it's on. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Indie Scientology podcast. I'm your host, Andy Nolch, and it is good to be here listening to the good old Strauss. This podcast has everything to do with Scientology, that bizarre religion you might have heard about. And it's not really bizarre, but you might think it is. If you're on my team, we don't think it's bizarre. But anyway, if you like this podcast, make sure you subscribe to it. It's in iTunes, and it is on my YouTube channel, Andy Nolch's YouTube channel. There's some other funky stuff on Andy Nolch's YouTube channel as well. Look, if you don't know what Scientology is, then you got to listen to the first few episodes of this podcast. They answer basic questions. There's no interviews. It's just me talking, answering some basic questions about Scientology, because it is extremely complex and not many people understand it. It took me like 6 years to understand it. Did you like last week's show with Max Howry? Oh, that wasn't bad. The leader of Ronzorg. It was a good interview. Let's talk about a lot of tech stuff. It's actually the longest interview I ever did last week's. Oh! Now you got to go down that rabbit hole with me. You got to join me. We're going down this rabbit hole. Down is up. Left is right. Left is what? Right? My God. What you thought wasn't possible is possible. Welcome to the Indie Scientology podcast. Today's show is with Mikhail Fedorov, the creator of the Theta meter. But before that, the San Fernando Valley has a new ideologue. And if you don't know what that is, it's near Los Angeles. I think it's called just the Valley ideologue. Yeah, near LA, where there's just heaps of, lots of Scientology activity in LA. All right, here's a win of the week. It's about grade 2. I feel that with the help of this processing, I have smoothed out a lot of the rough edges of living. Gone is a lot of the protest, suffering, and hostility I had carried around for so long. Confession is indeed good for the soul. Since doing this counseling, it has been easier for me to maintain high ethical standards and to be fully honest with myself and others. I have more room to be wrong about things, and I let the other person be right and have their viewpoint. Even if this does not agree with mine, my purposes in life are more responsibility orientated, and this does not feel forced on me, but easy to bear. My willingness to take responsibility is much higher than it has been in a long time. Thanks, Lauren, for getting me through it. This is a very worthwhile action to have done. Cool. Yeah, grade 2. Yeah, I've done that. Yep. The thing I liked most about grade 2 was the fact that I looked at some of the overts I'd done in the past and I was like, those overts are barely even overts. Like, they're really not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you're brought up in a low-toned environment, and this is a trait of what SPs do, and what low-tone people do is they make people wrong, and they always sort of they always tell people off. You know what I mean? Where someone who's more uptone is more positive and grants more beingness and isn't telling people that they're naughty and that they're wrong all the time. So growing up in this world, I think you kind of get brought up, and it almost becomes like an automaticity. You have like a demon circuit developed that you're like wrong all the time in your mind, like I'm bad and I'm wrong, you know? And that isn't true at all. But yeah, that's definitely a trait that the SPs do, where they love making people guilty of overts that aren't even overts. It's just a control factor. They love making people wrong and keying people in. Okay, all right. Before I play the Mikhail Fedorov interview, we've got a good old Scientology joke from the Scientology joke book. Let's have a listen to this one. This is now the second joke I've read out of this book. Okay, don't get your hopes up. All right. Two Scientologists were helping a friend open a new store and decided to take a break. Since the shop wasn't due to open for a few days, the shelves were not fully set up. One Scientologist said to the other, I bet some old fogey, maybe it's an American word, fogey, Fogey, I bet some old fogey will walk by. Wow, what a crappy word. I don't know, I don't like that word. I bet some old fogey will walk, like even for a slang term, it's just a lamb. It's not a cool slang term. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to start this joke again. Okay? I can't clear the word fogey. I don't know where the hell it is, but I'll work it out as I'm going along. Hopefully, we can still understand the joke if I don't know what this word is. Two Scientologists were helping a friend open a new store and decided to take a break. Since the shop wasn't due to open for a few days, the shelves were not fully set up. One Scientologist said to the other, I bet some old fogey will walk by, but put his or her face to the window and ask what we're selling. No sooner were the words out of his mouth when an old woman peeked through the window and cheerfully asked, What are you selling? We're selling assholes, replied one of the Scientologists sarcastically. Without skipping a beat, the lovely old lady said, You must be doing well. You've only got two left. Okay, wow. Now I still get the joke. But yeah, didn't laugh. And that was probably one of the better ones of this joke book. Anyway, let's continue. It's now time for the interview with the Theta Meter King. He created the Theta Meter. It's a popular independent e-meter that's for sale. He's from Russia. He's been a Scientologist for a long time. And I talked to him about his Theta Meter and a little bit about his history. This interview is a lot shorter than usual. Mikhail doesn't speak English very well, but he still did pretty well. And it's more of a visual one. So if you want to actually see the e-meter that he's holding up and stuff during this interview, listen to it on my YouTube channel, Andy Nolch's YouTube channel, and you can see the meter. And but I think listening to it without any images should still be okay. I think you should still follow along with it. And it does seem like this Theta meter is definitely, one of the best e-meters going around. Especially the fact that it's how it works is it's a program on the computer. So you plug this little plastic box into your computer, and then you plug the cans into the plastic box, and then you can have the big screen of your computer as the e-meter, and it's like an app on your computer. You know what I mean? Like you click it, it's like a program. So let's say you were traveling somewhere, you're probably going to be bringing your laptop there anyway, and you can also use it on your phone as well. If you've got a big screen on your phone, you can use it on your phone. And then so all you need to bring is this little plastic box and your e-meter cans and the cord, and it'll make traveling a lot easier. So, I mean, it's way better than the ones they're selling in the church. Like, not only does it have more features and, it gets upgraded and all that sort of stuff, it is possibly the best e-meter available to buy now, and it's the cheapest. Anyway, let's get on with this interview with Mikhail Fedorov. Today's guest interview is with Mikhail Fedorov. He is the creator of the Theta meter, a type of e-meter used by independent auditors, which is quite popular in Russia. Mikhail is from Russia. He is trained in radio engineering, which would explain for his expertise in e-meter building, and he's a professional Class 4 auditor, graduate CS, a solo auditor, and a supervisor with 10 years experience. And I've got him here on the podcast. the king of the thetameter. Mikhail, are you there?
Okay, thank you.
Good. How's your thetameter going?
Very good, thank you. It's very good. We continue to do new meters, new software, and when it appears, we will show it.
How long have you been selling the thetameter for?
In this year, it will be already 10 years.
Wow, that's good. And so, what generation are you up to?
Now it's third generation.
Third.
The last one, yeah.
Yep, good. And you're over in Russia. What part of Russia are you in?
In Moscow.
Moscow. Great.
Yeah.
So is it nice and cold there right now? Snowing, is it?
Not too cold. It's already spring, and somewhere we can find the snow, but it's already warm. Sometimes in this time it's much more colder.
Yeah. So can you tell me a bit about this this thetameter? Like, you don't actually make the whole e-meter as a meshed object there? You make it so that it works on computers and iPhones and stuff, right?
Yeah, it works.
So what's that box you've got there? That's the thetameter.
Oh, I have. That is third generation thetameter.
Yeah.
I will show it just a moment. This is standard thetameter.
Yeah.
This is Pro version.
So what's pro version? How's it different?
Yeah, it's have a different connector. You see it here is 3.5 millimeters connector.
Okay, yeah.
And this is a standard connector.
Okay, so does that mean that if you've got cans from an old Mark 7, you can use those cans with this thetameter?
Yeah, user can use also this special, I don't know how in English, converter.
Yeah.
From big connector to smaller.
Yeah.
And use this. And this one, it have additional galvanic isolation. It's medical needs for medical devices. For example, if lightning get into your computer or any damage in electricity, then repeater should survive.
It's protected.
Yes, it's protected up to 5 kilowatts.
Is that the Pro version? It's protected.
Yes, Pro version is protected. This is for notebooks, if they for tablets, and if you have a good power in your room, so you can use this one, no problem.
Nice. So how do you have to charge up those thetameters?
No, these devices don't need charging.
Yeah. So you plug the cans in, then you plug that into your computer, right?
Yes, into USB port.
And then do you have to download an app?
Yes, I have applications here at my computer. I can show if you need. Okay. Let's me first show other meters, and then I can show software if you want.
Yeah.
This is the smallest emitters in the world. This is thetameter nano.
Okay.
It's like just
a mini thetameter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like thumb drive smallest, the same size.
How do they work?
Also, we connected to USB port and use such connector. It's here.
Okay, so you plug the cans into that, and then they plug that into the USB port.
Yes, and here, just a moment, and connect it to the can.
Oh no!
Such way.
Yeah. I've got a question though. Why would anyone buy the bigger one when they can buy the smaller one?
I think if you have doubts about your power network in your room, in your home, then I recommend to use Pro version. And also for professional auditors, I recommend also Pro version. Because there is a medical standard for electricity security to have galvanic isolation. If you feed your computer from power wall socket, then you should have galvanic isolation. Such things like notebook adapter, which already have isolation. But if you have any doubts, I recommend to use Pro version. But in any other situation, I recommend to use the cheapest version. Just a moment. Okay.
So if somebody's wants to just do some solo auditing and they want to have the small USB stick, they should use that. But if they're professionally auditing people at home and stuff, they should use the proper professional one, the large size one.
Yes. And if person would like to buy this, there are also cheap galvanic isolation external. You can buy it for $20 or $30 at eBay, and it have 2 kilovolts isolation, so it's also okay.
Okay, all right. And with the cans, you sell the cans as well? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And are they much different to the Quantum 7 cans, for example?
Yes, it's a little different because I see that some guys in free zone used plastic plated with tin. And this cans is very good it's very comfortable. When you take it, it's you don't feel that it's cold or it's warm. It's have only a small thin layer of copper and tin, and it's very comfortable to take it.
Yeah.
And I decided also to make such cans. We make a molding injection machine. I don't know how it's correctly in English. So we make it in Russian. It's press form called, and we make it. It's not a tube. It's a special form where we put plastic and pressure and appear such a figure, or like here. Oh, here.
Okay. So that's what the PC would hold. The PC would hold 2 of them, and then you were holding up the solo cans before, were you?
Yeah.
And
yes,
is it different sizes? Is it different sizes?
Yes. Now we have 50 millimeters solar can and 40 millimeters solar can.
So kind of like a men's and a women's version.
Sometimes women like bigger. It's not. I can't. Maybe for children, this is most popular.
Yeah.
50 millimeters.
That's what she said. Yeah. So tell me when people buy these theta meters, they come in the mail, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And then how do they get the program onto their computer?
They download this program from my website.
And does everyone get the same program?
No, all programs now are for free.
Oh, okay. So anyone could download the program, but you have to buy from you the theta meter.
Yeah, if you buy theta meter, you can get all programs for free from App Store, from website. All are for free.
And let's say I've got cords for a Mark 7. You can use those cords to plug in the cans. Like they're fine. They work well with it.
Yes, it will work with this, no problem. And this special thing which can connect to this and then to Mark 7 ports.
Yep. And when someone can buy from you, can they buy from you a kit where they get solo cans, PC cans, cords, and the theta meter box, and they get all that in one package?
Yes, it's come with. If you buy solar can, I send. I ask you which port you want to get. Maybe you would like to have such size or this size.
Yep.
And
3.5 mil.
yes, 3.5
Yep.
and 635
Yep.
millimeters. Yeah.
Okay, and how often do you upgrade the program?
All new programs appear at my website. If appear something new, I usually put it at my website and some review and some maybe video. If it's absolutely new, I put video at my website and users can download it from website and to see how to use it.
Oh, great! So it sort of teaches you how to use it as well. You can learn how to use it from the website. You can learn how to use it.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is it kind of hard to learn how to use, or is it pretty simple?
It's depends from user's experience, how he's good enough with computers. I'm trying to make programs as simple as possible. And for very beginning, user can use Mark 5 program. It's very simple and very understandable by any auditor. And some in less programs we use. I use to record videos to show how it works, because sometimes I need to invent some terms for this area. For example, needle inertia. What is it? Ron never wrote about this, but for those who at nodes, they need very quick needle, and those who are level 1 or level 0, they don't need really quick needle, and so they adjust inertia as they want, as they need.
Okay, and when somebody wants to get it on their mobile phone, on their cell phone, do you go to an app store and download the program at an app store?
Yes, in App Store you can download a program like this.
Okay.
This iPad.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And so, on the screens on phones, like this phone here, are these pretty much too small, these screens, to use it on, or is it you really need a tablet and a big laptop screen to use it on?
This depends from auditor. If you, for example, if you travel a lot, you can use a phone. If you solo auditor, if you experience solo auditor, if you auditor and you have many pieces, I think it's better to have a bigger iPad.
Yep.
It's much more comfortable to use this than smaller iPhone.
So with auditors who are using a theta meter, you would basically open up the door to the room and you would see most likely a laptop opened up and some cans plugged into the laptop with a PC.
I think that most users use it with Windows laptops. Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
And it works good with MacBooks?
Yes, and about 10% of users use MacBook. Not too many guys. Most use Windows.
But it works fine with Macs.
Yes, it also works with Mac.
Okay, and what is there any other products you have for sale?
Oh, except theta meters.
Yeah.
I publish books also. But
Scientology
this is for,
books?
yes, Scientology books. For example, Sector 9 and some other books for those who are in free zone here in Russia.
So do you print them off or do you publish them on the internet?
No, I print it as a physical book.
Yep. You don't have one there to show me, do you?
In 1 minute, I need to take it. From the shelf.
Don't worry, that's all right. But that's good. So, do you sell a Dianetics book?
No, the Dianetics book. I don't sell it. Other guys printed it and sell it. They make translation from the first original version, and it's very great thing.
Okay.
No, any change.
Yeah, good. Can you show me an FN on the theta meter now? Can we have a look at one?
What to show?
Can you show me the theta meter actually running now? Can we plug it in and have a look at it actually running and see some needle reactions?
Yeah, I can show you. The last one is this is USB theta meter.
Yep.
Okay, this one.
Okay, so can you show me how it's connected to it? I just want to see.
It's very easily. I just press this button.
Here, it's wireless. Yeah, you got wireless ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and it connects to iPad.
How does it connect? Is it Wi-Fi or Bluetooth?
This one use Bluetooth. Here is you can see it's Bluetooth activated.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you charge those cans?
To the full charge, it takes about 50 hours. So I need to charge it about 1 time a month or maybe in 2 weeks for if I order it a lot.
So it lasts for pretty long.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's show me some needle reactions. Okay.
Do you see it?
Yep. And so what would you press if you want to reset the TA?
Just press here.
Oh, and it goes to set.
Yes, I can press set, or I can just press anywhere at the screen.
Yep.
Tap at the screen. For example, it's here. I tap it and needle.
Yep.
Come to the set. Yeah, it's very comfortable. So I don't need to only to put this button, and everywhere here I can put and I can tap and get needle at set.
All right. And so how is the sensitivity of this e-meter that you sell compared with, let's say, the quantum, like for people who are doing solo who need the really high sensitivity? How's it go with that?
Regarding sensitivity, we can just a moment. Sensitivity, sense settings. We can adjust settings as we want. It's maybe hard to see. We can adjust sensitivity. If you want to make it more sensitive or less sensitive, we can make it like quantum. There is a high TA sensitivity correction option. I can activate it, and it will be very quick. As you see, needle, I activated it, and it's like at quantum, very quick.
Yeah.
This high TA.
So is this much more sensitive than the quantum?
Yes.
So you would definitely recommend this for people like this. Do you reckon this is the best e-meter?
Yes, I think it's much better than quantum, especially at PET. And quantum needle is less inertial. Do you know what is inertia?
Not really.
Inertia is a physical term which equivalent to mass. Mass, the harder, the bigger is mass, the more inertial something is.
Yeah.
For example, if needle is massive, it will be, just a moment, I will show it to you. I squeeze can, and it only after maybe half a second start to react.
Yeah.
This is very massive needle. And now I will, you can see, this is my hand, I squeeze, and reaction is not so quick. And now I switch off inertia and look at the reaction. You see?
Yeah.
It's instant. It's not so slow as before.
So do you think this is just much better to audit on?
Experienced auditors, especially those who at knots, they would like to see as quick needle as possible. They need to see very small needle reactions, very quick, and quantum needle even can't show such things. They will here it can show, for example, small hole, and quantum will show only tick or show nothing. So this is much more comfortable to use, and you can see more. For example, Tommy Thompson. Do you know this guy?
No.
No. He's experienced auditor. He worked at FLAG, and he tell this is one of the best emitters he ever seen with quickest needle, and and also with quantum, in compare with quantum, we have a better interface. For example, you see here, this is a time, this is TA here, and if solar auditor, if they study how to write their worksheets, they know that they should write time at the left and TA at the right part of the worksheet. And here is very comfortable, time at the left and TA at the right. And there is also interesting thing like instant TA. You can see it. It's very quickly changing.
Yeah. You
don't need to put needle at set to see how much is TA now. You just see how it is right now.
So are you talking about an automatic TA?
There is maybe you can call it also automatic TA, but automatic TA it's auto set. Maybe you think about this. Auto set is when a needle comes to the end, it goes to the set.
Yeah, so it's got an automatic TA, so you don't have to keep adjusting the TA setting.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yep. Somebody like it, somebody is just switch it off. For example, here we can switch it off and no automatic TA, just needle, just stick at the one side and do nothing.
So you can choose both options. You can use the automatic TA option, or you can adjust it yourself.
Yes, you're right.
Nice, good, very good. And where can they go to buy this e-meter? Where can people go to get this?
thetameter.com. This is my website. Yeah.
Nice. And on what does the standard theta meter, like you sell, what would a package cost for all of the things like the cans, the theta meter and the program and everything?
Okay. For example, this depends. Some guys want only emitter for solar auditing. They don't need dual cans. For example, if somebody already have cans, so they just buy only 1 meter. So this one, so the cheapest meter is $250. It's not so much. It's really cheap for now. And for example, 2-3 years ago, prices was about $400 and higher, and now it's the cheapest one.
Wow, so you can sell them for a lot cheaper now, can you?
Yes. First of all, we make it cheaper because we haven't galvanic isolation. This is one thing, and also we make it at factory. It's just a robotic line, puts printed circuit board and put elements like very quickly. And it's very quick and cheap and really reliable.
How many theta meters have you sold now in total? Do you have an idea?
I think soon it will be about 1,000.
Okay, and so how many are you selling these days? Like how many a week would you be selling?
Not too much, 2-3 meters per week.
And where are they mostly going to? Which countries?
It's USA, sometimes Australia, Europe, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, South Africa, sometimes even to India, to Mexico, Canada, many countries.
Nice. And so I'm wondering, when it comes to training, right? Would you recommend somebody uses the old style Mark V, the Mark VII, that's the stuff for training because it's set up in a way that LRH had written the materials? Would you recommend someone gets trained on those ones, but then when they actually start, they can graduate to the theta meter?
It's sometimes, yes. I recommend to use, for example, it's better to be experienced in with every emitter you can meet at the world. As auditor, you become expert. If you start to work with theta meter, you will be experienced with theta meter. But sometimes you get, for example, Mark V, and you don't know what to do. So I recommend to make emitter drills at every emitter you have. Then you will be a really experienced auditor expert.
So so if someone owns a Mark VII or something, then you would recommend that they drill with both. They drill with the theta meter and the Mark VII, and they learn it both. Yeah.
Yeah. This is from. I'm also supervisor, so this is rather supervisor's viewpoint.
Yeah.
As a theta meter seller, I recommend to use theta meter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also have a Mark V and Mark VII program. So if you have a touch screen at your Windows laptop, you can also make these drills with theta meter.
I've got a really interesting question. They've got something called a drill simulator that they use in the church. I'm not sure if the independent field have these machines, the drill simulators, or if anyone makes them. But it's a machine where you press buttons, like you press rock slam and it shows a rock slam reaction on the needle, or you press FN and it shows an FN, or a an instant read. Do you have these?
We have plans to make it. We started it and come to the special results, and then decide to do some other things because too many projects. I can't keep all in my head, and if we finish major programs, major devices, we can make such machine.
Yeah, so would you make it as a program in that you have your theta meter on the computer screen and then you have this drill simulator up and you click on it and it shows different reactions on the needle to train people?
The major idea of theta meter, it should be cheap. So to make external machine is to make it really more expensive. Programmer can do a program which can send data to emitter program and show it at computer. So it's cheaper and really easy.
Yeah, that'd be great, and that would help a lot with training, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Also, supervisor can record some needle behavior and also use it in emitter drills. We have in Windows version possibility to record different, for example, session and to cut part of the session with different needle reactions. And so every supervisor can make his own library to show library with needle reactions and show it to his students.
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
Yeah.
I got a controversial question. So would you like to have it? Yeah, controversial question.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
hard question. Like... Hard question. All right. How much profit do you make on each theta meter you sell? So hold up one of the theta meters, for example. How much does that cost to make?
It depends from what to make a profit, what to think a profit. Profit is, for example, if I don't sell programs, then I should pay to programmers. And for example, meter is not so expensive, really. But the most expensive part of the meter is a program. We every month we make something new. We add some new functions, new interface, making experiments. Is it it will be comfortable such interface or not comfortable for auditor, for solo auditor, and this takes money. And I get this money selling these boxes.
Yeah. So how much in materials, let's say, to build the box, let's say, what is it, $30 in material or something, and then the rest of the money the rest of it's profit, but you spend a lot of time, you're saying, on making it.
I don't know how to in English. I need to tell. This is company secret.
Ah! So it is controversial. You don't want to answer how much it costs to make.
Also, I would rather make it a secret. It's really
well. That's a new first for the podcast. It was too controversial to be answered.
Yeah, it's yes, it's not really expensive, but expensive is a program. It's really takes sometimes even money from my auditors' income to make a program. Sometimes not, but really to make a program, to change it every month, it's the most expenses I have. Not to making boxes.
So you're an auditor as a job, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And what's that?
Yes, I'm auditor.
And supervisor as well?
Yes.
Yep. And so you don't make a living from the theta meter because it's a bit expensive to make, but you make a living from being an auditor.
Yes, I like to be auditor because I can check meter first of all, and really my original idea when I come to Scientology, I want to help people.
Yep.
I want to make them free, and this is really interesting.
So you audit people at home, and where do you supervise at?
Please repeat.
So do you audit people at your house?
Yes, in my flat.
And you all do this at home. You don't do it at an org or a mission. You do it at home.
Yes, we have our small mission in our flat, and we deliver services here.
What services do you deliver?
We deliver auditing, we deliver purif, we deliver HKS, we all levels up to Games Master.
Wow, so you're involved with Ron's org?
Yes, we
Yep.
are on SORG.
So you're running a little mission from your house, basically.
Yeah.
And how many on average, how many students would you have in the course room then?
Not too many, maybe one or two. It's not too much. We decide to put our attention at VIP prepares, so they would like to have not too many guys in the classroom. Not they have their own timetable, and so we take higher money for these services than other orgs.
How many hours? How many PCs do you currently audit on an average week?
I have four prepares. Four
Great.
prepares.
And how many clears have you made?
Two clears.
Great. All right. So you're
from the very beginning to the end.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And so you don't have any other job. You can just do Scientology as a job.
Scientology is my main job. So for me it's very interesting to do, for example, emitters, and also why I like Scientology, because here I can check every job. For example, I can print books, I can be a supervisor, I can be a programmer, I can be an engineer, I can be so in Scientology org, and I can be everyone. It's very interesting to sometimes marketologist, sometimes designer, sometimes it's many jobs, and it's very interesting to do such things.
So if somebody wanted to get audited and they were in Moscow, they could come to you and do their bridge.
Yeah. Mostly now all my peers are from Moscow, and sometimes also comes from other towns from whole Russia.
Great. And I want to talk a bit about your past. Like how did you get into Scientology?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It was in 1985, not 85, 1995. I prepared 2 exams in my university, and my mother come to me and give me a newspaper from Moscow Dianetics Center, and tell me this could be interesting for you. I read it, and I decide to come to this Dianetics Center, and it was very interesting, and I start there TRSs and auditing.
Great. And was that center part of the church?
Yes, it was a church mission.
Okay, and is it still a mission today?
Now this org, this is a big org, and supervisor who was my supervisor at TRSs now is a leader of Moscow church. So I know him. Yeah.
So was this center you went to in 1995? Was that the current Moscow org now?
Sorry, please repeat.
The Dianetics Center that you went to in 1995, is that
yes?
Is that called currently now the Moscow Ideal Org?
It's currently Moscow. In Moscow, what?
Ideal org.
Ideal. I don't know this word.
How long have you been out of the church for?
I was there too for maybe 3 years. I
And
take beginning. There was it was a small. It was a big org, but with small amount of services, and they have only Dianetic Solitaire course and no even HKS. No objectives, no students had and no levels. Just only beginning. And when appear a free zone, my friends come to me and tell you should go there. I decide to go there.
so, how did you end up leaving the church, and why did you leave?
Where I live,
Yeah.
I understand that they do not do what they promise. They promise bridge, but they do not deliver it. There was 2 years and no new books. Don't appear any new books. It was only Dianetics and problems of force for 2 or 3 years, and they tell that soon will come new auditors. It was a really big org with about from 100 to 200 staffs. For Russia, it's very big org, and they have a huge amount of public, but still haven't. But for 2 hours, they do not show any new services. And so I decided when Max Fowler come to Russia, I visit his lectures, and I decided to come to Free Zone and to in Ronsorg and to follow by them to Max and Erica.
So at this org that you were at, it had a lot of staff, about 200 staff, and it wasn't even delivering objectives, and it wasn't even selling most of the books.
Yeah, and those time.
Yeah. So back then, it wasn't even selling most of the books.
No, they do not sell. They sell only 2 books: Dianetics and Problems of Force. No other books.
Yeah.
And only. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this is why I believe that the church is actually set up to hide Scientology from the world. Because from what I observed in Melbourne, it seemed like the church was trying to suppress Scientology, right? And if you've got an org, if in 1995 you're telling me there was an org in Russia and they weren't even providing the org with books, right? Then they're suppressing Scientology. They're hiding it from the world.
Yes, it was. It looks like suppressing because no new services, and people want new services. Most of guys I have seen, they finished all the courses. They need more, but no one deliver it. At those time, not too many guys can speak English and can get money and to go to abroad, for example, to Denmark to study Scientology. So just a few guys, and others come to the free zone, and it was a big blowdown of people there. Several hundreds guys left church, as I know, at those time.
So, do you think that one of the reasons maybe the church wasn't providing all the courses and all the books was because they wanted the people to not go to that org and go to their main church in Moscow?
No, there was this org main church was called Hubbard. Humanitarian Hubbard Center. It was a center where Sea Org works, And they also do not deliver TRSs or do not deliver objectives, only TRSs and beginning courses. So they only send guys, those who have money, to the flag and to Denmark.
So do you think the church was intentionally trying to force people to go to the advanced orgs and to go to flag?
Yes, it's obviously, it was really well seen. They do not want to deliver here. I think only when a free zone appear here, they decide to bring here Scientology, like, and such courses like Students' Heads Academy, and there wasn't such courses for a long time, maybe I think 10 years. Church was in Russia, and there wasn't such courses like Students' Head. It's really crazy.
Well,
they just it's only words. They then want to disseminate Scientology, but they stop Scientology with such things like our translations is not so good. We need to make it better and better and better, and this continues for 2 or 3 years. And I see it's somebody stops this. So
because this is why basically I believe in the conspiracy theory that the church was taken over by some sort of evil forces, and it's actually fake. Like, it's pretending, and at the events, it's saying we want to advance Scientology and we love Scientology and we want to clear the planet and all that sort of stuff. But that's all actually lies. It's not actually true, because at the end of the day, they intentionally don't promote. They intentionally don't give books to orgs in Russia that need it, and they don't give services to orgs in Russia that need it. The whole thing is designed, I think, to trick the members into thinking that the management, right?
Yeah.
I think is trying to trick the members, right? The church members into thinking that they care about Scientology, but they don't, and they actually want to hide. They want to hide LRH tech from the world, basically. And I remember four bookstores trying to look for a fiction book or any book by LRH, right? Because recently they re-released Battlefield Earth. They re-released it. They re-released it, so you'd think maybe it might be at the bookstores, but it wasn't. It wasn't at 4 bookstores, and any other LRH book wasn't at bookstores as well. So it just seems like they're trying to hide Scientology from the world. Like, not only are they changing the tech, but they also seem to be hiding it from the world.
Yeah.
And so it seems like in Russia, why the independent field managed to boom was because people wanted Scientology and they had to start up all these independent orgs because the actual churches weren't giving them any orgs, weren't giving them materials.
Yeah. Right now they have all books translated here. But it's for much higher prices, and it's all altered. It's not books by L. Ron Hubbard. It's books by Church of Scientology.
Yeah, it's books by L. Ron Hubbard Library, which is a corporate organization or something. It's not by L. Ron Hubbard. It's L. Ron Hubbard Library.
Yeah. I'm agree with you.
Yeah.
Here I have meet some guys who was at flag, and they was really stopped to go up. They was really want to do IT levels, but they was stopped to go further. And they come to free zone, and they tell that half of the flag delivered to the Russian students and OTs, another half to other countries, and so a big flow coming from Russia, and they trying to stop most of the guys who come there with ethics, with suppressive ethics, with high prices. But now many guys really can confront these prices and no problem, but really stop them to go up the bridge.
Yeah. And also they've got the that special new building that the church built, the Scientology Media Productions, and that was their big Div 6 thing. So it was promoted as, oh, this is gonna really, it's gonna make a Scientology TV channel or something, and then radio show, and this is really gonna promote Scientology. And they open up the building, and they've done nothing. So again, it's the same thing where like they're pretending like they're promoting Scientology, but all they're doing is taking a lot of money and building a nice building. Like it's really
Yes.
interesting. So after you left the church, you went to Ronsorg, did you?
Yeah.
Which one?
It was a camp in Ronsor camp in Russia. It was organized by Max and Erika Fowry, and about 20 years I visited it, or maybe a little smaller. So I ran all the bridge up to OT 48 in Ronsor, and I become a SCAL auditor and OT review auditor and CS also.
So so did you do all this at the training camps, or did you do it at Max's org in Switzerland?
No, I studied in Ronsor camp in Moscow.
Oh, so you because they only have 2 camps a year, so you just went every time they had a camp and you got a lot of gain from it?
Yes, it was a really great time when I visited camps. There was a huge amount of people there, and Max and Erika was very busy handling pieces, CSing, supervising, and it was a great time.
So how did you go with Excalibur? Have you completed that?
Yes.
Great. And so you're class 4 trained, are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also I study Excal auditor course to audit others as at Excalibur, to start and to get Excalibur after studying course to go to auditing. First, he need to get several sessions from auditor, and I was educated also to audit Excal OTs.
What year did you go clear?
Please repeat.
What year did you go clear in?
Where or
when did you go clear?
When? I think I was when I get attestation at clear in this lifetime. I found that I was clear in my previous lifetime.
Great, good. All right. So, I'm wondering, do you get any attacks from the Office of Special Affairs from the church about your theta meters and your website and your mission?
They tried to make some bad things, to write some papers to police, but they do nothing. In fact, and sometimes they send guys who tell us that we are squirrels, that we are doing bad things, and so on. And the church is great, they disseminate Scientology, and we are suppressive persons, and so on. And we hear it and tell them and send them back to church.
What? Sorry, I forgot. I was going to ask something, but I forgot. I got an interesting question for you. Okay.
Okay.
This is interesting. Okay. Yeah. Now, I've heard from naturopaths that Wi-Fi, and some electronics, some people are kind of allergic to them. So what I'm thinking is, have you noticed any problems with PCs having problems with a computer or cans that are Bluetooth? Have you noticed any PCs that are allergic to that, or it affects the session badly, these electronics?
I don't think that most of PCs can't feel Wi-Fi. It's only OTs, some OTs can feel that electronics influence at their body. but PCs can't, and they have a big bank and they don't feel it's really good. So I can't remember any PC who can tell me Wi-Fi router don't let me to be in session.
So it's okay. The electronics are okay, and it works well, and it doesn't seem to affect people and their energy levels and stuff.
Sometimes could be that PCs can influence at electronics. I have met such things when PC change something in settings. He don't know how he do this, but such thing can appear. Something changed, and auditor don't know what to do because something computer don't work as necessary. So it's very rare situation, but sometimes it happens.
So sometimes the PC can like telepathically affect the computer.
Yeah.
What would happen? What will happen to the computer? What do they do?
I have seen meter stop to work and nothing, and nobody around can find the drivers to set up and stop to work. But when we take him in session, calm down, and handle his RC brakes, and electronics continue to work good.
So you're telling me that some people, when they get keyed in, that can affect how their computer works?
Yes, I have maybe 2 or 3 times I have met such things. It's not really usual. It's really a rare situation, but it can be.
Yeah, I believe it because I've had something happen with me. I remember it's happened actually recently where I was keyed in, and you you probably noticed this as well. When you get keyed in, things just stuff up. Things don't work. Like your phone runs out of battery or something breaks down, and things just don't go well when you're keyed in. And I've noticed that can happen. It's quite interesting, you know?
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
and also one time I noticed when I had a song playing on my laptop, and
Mm-hmm.
and it was ending, and a song that I had in my head um started playing straight after the song ended on the
Mm-hmm.
laptop, right? But the thing is that when the song ended on the laptop, no other song was supposed to play. It was usually the song just ends and it goes quiet and it stops. But randomly, this other song that I thought of started playing. And I went to the
Very
computer.
interesting.
I know. So I went to the computer because I was amazed. And I tried to get the computer to do it again. So I clicked on the original song. And when it got to the end, it stopped and that was it. And I couldn't do it again. But I was amazed that it actually happened because I was like, oh, it's theta. It's like it's synchronicity. Like it just goes from one to the next that I was thinking automatically because of theta.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think of the other e meters that some independents are making? What do you think of the other e meters?
I think that guys want to help their uh, to other auditors. I think they doing good things.
But you think your e meter is the best, right?
I think every guy who make emitter, he trying to make it the best,
Yeah.
and he think his meters is the best. Yes, we can compare emitters and we can compare programs, and sometimes uh, I decide to think what others doing, how they decide some things, how they make interface uh, to make it more comfortable for auditor, for solo auditor, and I see what I can do also in my programs. So some guys find really interesting things, and I trying to do also such things in my programs.
So who do you think has the second best e meter for sale?
It's hard to tell about this.
Well, what comes to mind?
I can tell you who influenced at my when I worked. When I start to work, I mostly put my attention at ability meters. Do you know such meters? Yeah, ability meters. It was very interesting to me. Also, one guy from Austria.
Ralph Hilton?
So, yes. I also was very interesting to read his website about emitters. So we get some data. Also, one guy from England, he made a not K meters. Also in Russia, one guy made meters. So there was many guys who put some interesting ideas in this area in meter making. For example, from English emitters, I take idea of circular dial. It's very comfortable when you assess, when you're listing and making listing and moving, your needle is always on the dial and you see it, and it's never lose. You can never lose it. You don't need to put needle at set. It never comes to the one end and to another end. So this idea I take from these emitters. So many guys bring his ideas in this area, and I also take this idea and put it in our meters. So I can't tell that. So this is best and this one best. I think I should tell to everybody they're doing a good work, and thanks them they're doing this. They help others to audit pieces.
Good. All right. Well, we're coming towards the end of the interview, but I just wanted to ask you what wins have you gotten from Scientology?
It's changed my life. Maybe I think it could be interesting to tell about my first win in audit.
Yeah.
I come to Dianetics seminar, and my twin was an old man, and he don't know how he even how he come there. Maybe somebody give him a ticket to this seminar and tell you should go there. I don't know. But he only applied standard steps of Dianetics procedure. He ran me on the engram. This engram was when I fall down at the chair's corner with my back. It was an injury, and there was a broken, I don't know how it's spine. Spine, yes, it's broken spine, and I can't walk for a long time. And after this session, I feel that there is no pain here. I can walk, I can run, I can do everything, and it was very huge win for me. And finally, this guy don't become a Scientologist, but he helped me, and he gave me this really huge win, which changed my health and really changed my future.
Great, very good. So again, if people want to get this e-meter, you just go to thetameter.com.
Yes, all meters are there.
Good. And
so,
training videos? Are training videos there?
Yes, also in video part of this website.
Good. Very good.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for being on the podcast, Mikhail.
Thank you, Andy, for your invitation for this podcast.
That's all right. Have a good day. See ya.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the interview with Mikhail Fedorov. I hope you liked it. And again, if you want to actually see it, go to Andy Notch's YouTube channel and the video of it can be seen there. Now, that is pretty much it for the podcast, except there is something. There's something more. We're going to be ending off with a quote. And this is a very, very special quote in that it's extremely deep, extremely powerful, extremely life-changing, extremely simple. It's definitely one of the best pieces of information that Scientology has. Now, you know, if you're not a Scientologist, I'll just mention this. Um, uh, the non-Scientology world don't really treat life like it's a game. Some people do. You can see it in the way they act and stuff. But there's something big in Scientology in that we treat life as if it's a game. Like we don't take things seriously. Like I obviously like I'm serious in that like I want to you know stop the crimes that the psychs are doing. And when I say psychs, I don't mean actual psychologists. I mean some of them are, but I mean just evil people. It's an alternate word for evil people. I want to stop the crimes that they're doing, and I'm kind of serious about that, but I still treat it all as if it's a game, as if it's just an experience, and don't take things seriously. Because a big trick is to take things seriously, and this actually relates back to what I was talking about earlier in the podcast, where SPs try and make people think that they've committed overts. They always accuse people of committing overts. Like they pick on a good guy like Julian Assange and say, you're a criminal, you've been committing overts. And they tried to pick on LIH as well, who was a really, really good guy. And they tried to like slap, like all these things on him and say, you're selling vitamins, that's illegal. And the FDA, the Food and the Drug Administration, like why does the Food and Drug Administration have anything to do with Scientology? And the tax department were like getting on his back and all this sort of stuff, and they try and say you're committing overts, and they love accusing people of committing overts to shut them down. And one thing that they do as well is it's at the same time as encouraging people to think that they're committing overts, they also are saying you take things seriously. That's basically what they're passing on to the person. Like when they're trying to bring Julian Assange down, they're saying this is serious, 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 serious. And the more you are around low-tone people, the more serious they become. I remember I was working for an Angatone person once, and it was just everything was so serious. I mean, he was also so serious about not committing an overt. Like this little silly overts, like using too much soap or something like that. Like no, I can't commit overt. Oh. He was a member of the Church of Scientology, so he was obviously, paranoid about overts, which they tend to be. But he just took things so seriously and all this stuff. It's just a trait of them. It's just really, really interesting. So in a world that's we the SPs are pretty successful on this world that we live in. The average person is taking things a lot more serious than what they should be. So in comes LIH and he starts to correct this, which is good. He starts, giving out good information. And this quote has to do with that. And, it's a really simple quote. And I really recommend taking it on board. To really sort of, you obviously don't treat it like the way homeless people or apathetic people do, because they've taken things so seriously that they've given up on being serious, and now they're being totally unserious, and they're just taking drugs and dancing around high on red cordial and just not taking anything seriously. And they're the they're an SP as well. They're not the 2.5% SP, but they're still an SP. You can just see them walking on the street. Like, they don't take their life seriously at all. I'm not saying be that ridiculous. Like, just give up on life and don't take it seriously at all. But I am saying, and LIH is saying, just don't be so serious and just have fun with life, you know? Anyway, so here's the quote. I hope you enjoyed my rambling ons. Okay, ready? The more seriously you take the game, I know I probably already mentioned this, but so what LIH is referring to in that situation is the game of life. Because Scientologists view the whole of life as just a game. It's just a game. You can play the game of being a carpenter. You can play the game of being a musician. You know? Anyway, you can play the game of being a mother, you know? Everything can just be a game. Okay, the more seriously you take the game, the less chance there is of winning. It takes lots of space and lots of unseriousness to win. And that's just totally true. That is one of the I cognited on this maybe through my auditing. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Anyway, there's definitely something I noticed in my life, and I noticed it in some football teams in that I remember when I was playing junior football and I was in a team that would take things seriously. And you do get some benefit from taking something seriously. So let's say you got a team of dudes and just having fun playing football. And they can go okay or whatever, but then you suddenly start going, let's take things seriously, right? And you get this really hardcore person come in, and there can be a bit of an improvement in the team, and they can suddenly start winning some more games. But they'll never really become, the champion team. They'll never really win all the time with that hardcore serious attitude. And I noticed that with a bit of junior football that I was playing, in that they were taking things too seriously, and if they just relaxed and became a bit more casual, they would actually win more games. And at a young age, I'd picked up on this whole thing of hard work and taking things seriously, because it was just the general advice of society, and it was just something that I picked up on. And the Sea Org do this today, and that's why I sort of disagree with them and stuff. They're really into like hard work and seriousness and in the end, it just makes you lose. Like it's not a helpful attitude to have. And until you just calm down, you don't have all these must-haves, and you just chill, and you're just like, hey, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to win the game, but I'm not serious about it. You know, you have a much more higher chance of winning. And this quote here, this quote alone can literally change your life. If you really apply it to your life and you really think about it. Like, I remember I was talking to a friend who was working at the bank, and of course he didn't really like it. He wasn't really into it and that. And I mentioned some things to him about his work, and I actually intentionally kind of manipulated his mind, but ones do it in a way that's like it's bad for the person. Like they twist things um that put someone, like, they say some things that changes a person's thinking. Well, I actually can change people's thinking, but to make them think more uptone and positive about things. And LH does this as well. Like, it's a new slant on life. Anyway, so he was talking about work. So I said some things that that sort of mentioned about life sort of being a game, and just don't take it seriously. Just have some, like, you know what I mean. And it twisted the way he approached work, and he actually enjoyed work more. And it was interesting, you know. I mean, if you're just treating everything as an adventure and a fun game, I don't know. You just kind of you can't go wrong. But you always go wrong if you're taking things seriously all the time. It's a really, really bad philosophy to have. And do you know what? There's a really good example of this, right? There's actually an episode of The Simpsons where there's this guy called, I think his name's Frank Grimes, and he's some new guy at Homer Simpson's workplace. Homer Simpson works at like a what is it? It's a nuclear power plant. And this new guy, Frank Grimes, comes along, and he's had a bit of a hard life, and he's really taking life seriously. He's really trying to be the best employee, and he's really trying to make a thing. And he's taking life damn seriously, you know. And Homer's just like this casual dude that fell into a good job at the power plant and has a good family and a house and all this sort of stuff. And he stuffs up at work and he's a crappy worker, but he still never gets fired and stuff. And Frank Grimes is trying really, really hard, and he flips out. He can't handle working with Homer because it pisses him off so much that Homer's having all these good things happen to him, and he's just lazy and doesn't take anything seriously. And Frank Grimes is trying really, really seriously, and he keeps on stuffing up because he doesn't know. Frank Grimes, his character, doesn't know about this quote, doesn't know about this philosophy. So he's taking things seriously, and it's not the right way to approach anything. Don't take things seriously. And so he ends up actually dying in the episode of The Simpsons. Like he ends up, I don't know, just he goes wild or whatever, and he just takes things too seriously, and all this bad luck happens because that's what happens when you take things seriously. And you know, that's it. It just screws him up, and it's just a perfect episode of The Simpsons. It's a perfect story and a lesson that you learn from it. Like it's good. It's wholesome. It's a good family show. It's like, what good information. Like it literally teaches you, hey, just calm down and don't take things so serious. And it's funny because there's Scientologists out there today, particularly the church members, um, who are still taking things seriously. Like this Scientologist I was thinking of that I used to work. So I don't know the anger tone guy I was talking about earlier, who I was working with, who was taking things seriously and was paranoid about not making overts and all this sort of stuff. He just was not. He was just taking things seriously. Everything was so serious to him. And even with his auditing, it was like before he attested to any action that he completed, like he was like really serious. Have I really achieved this? And you know what I mean? Like it's just like, whoa, have I really got the EP? And like would really analyze things, and he would look up words in the dictionary and take. Scientologists know exactly what I'm talking about with this. When I talk about dictionaries, like some people will look up a word and they'll be like, do I really know what the word stop means? And like they're really taking it seriously, and the study take 100% serious. And they'll look up like 10 different definitions of stop, and they'll spend half an hour clearing the word stop. And it's like, hey, come on. You know what the word stop means. You're taking things too serious. You know? Anyway, so I hope I got that across, because it's literally a very secret little trick to life if you soak this in. I'll just read it one more time. The more seriously you take the game, the less chance there is of winning. It takes lots of space and lots of unseriousness to win. It's just an amazing rule, because I noticed that whenever there's a must-have, whenever there's like, I can't lose, suddenly you start losing. But whenever you just like, let's say you're playing golf and you just like, oh, I'll just focus on this and I'll get it in. It doesn't really matter whether or not I get it in. You get the ball in. But when you're like, I cannot miss this one, it's suddenly like everyone is like suddenly really important. Like it's the queen, it's watching, and I have to get this ball in the hole perfectly. And oh my God. And it changes everything. And I also see it, because I'm in like the comedy industry. I see it with some stand-up comedians who go to perform in front of an audience, and instead of just being themselves and relaxing and being nice and funny, like the person who's running the show is like all serious, and you comedians better do good, and you better be on time, and the jokes better work, and that whole attitude ruins the whole comedian's act, because they go out on stage and then they're like, I can't make a mistake, and there's suddenly all these serious robots, and it stuffs everything up. And even an auditor, when they take a PC in session, if an auditor is really scared about stuffing up and must take the session seriously, the auditor will do a shit job of auditing. The best auditor is an auditor that's casual. Anyway, That's enough of me talking. That's it for the podcast. It's time for you to climb back out of the rabbit hole, out of this funky Scientology world. If you like this adventure, subscribe to this podcast it's on iTunes, and it's on my YouTube channel. Thank you a lot for listening. I've been Andy Nolch, and until next time, take care of yourself and work your way up that bridge. Meow.